Okay, today I'm going to try to review with you the adjective endings that you put on a descriptive adjective when they come after different kinds of articles or indefinite articles in German. First of all, you should be familiar with these articles here. These are the definite articles. Der for masculine, den, accusative masculine, dem, dative masculine, des, genitive masculine, and then the indefinite articles, ein, einen, einem, eines, as they relate to the four cases with a masculine noun. When they're going with a masculine noun, for instance, der Mann is ein Mann, if you're going to use the indefinite article. Feminine words for the, or the definite articles, die, accusative die, dative der, genitive der. Indefinite articles, eine, einer in the dative, einer in the genitive, and then the neuters, das, dem, and des, ein, einem, eines. And then the plural, die for nominative plural, die for accusative plural, den for dative plural, der for genitive plural. And of course, since ein can't be pluralized because it means one or a, we switch to an ein word, one of which would be mein. So meine, meinen, and meiner. Now what do we do with adjectives that come after these things? This is the whole picture of adjective inflection in German. If you have an adjective that comes after the definite article der, that is a masculine nominative noun, der Mann. If you want to say the good man, you say der gut der gute Mann. If you want to use that in the accusative case, den guten Mann. Just carry the gut down through here, and so we don't clutter it up too much here, we'll just put the endings on. Den guten Mann, I see the good man, direct object. And if you're going with the good man, mit dem guten Mann, and that's the car of the good man, das ist das Auto des guten Mannes. Des guten Mannes. Now, feminine nouns, the good woman, let's say, die gute Frau. For die accusative, die gute Frau. Give something to the good woman, der guten Frau. And that's the car of the good woman, das ist das Auto der guten Frau. Das, in front of a neuter noun, the good child, let's say, let's stick with gut. Why switch a good thing? Das gute Kind, das gute Kind. In the accusative, you see the good child, you see das gute, and you give something to the good child, it's dem guten Kind, that's the bed of the good child, des guten Kindes. And remember, for the neuter nouns, you have to make sure that if they're one syllable, you add an es to them, des guten Kindes. If it's a once or more than one syllable, polysyllabic, then you add simply an s to it. But for kind, it would be des guten Kindes. Plural, die whatever, the good children, die guten Kinder, accusative, en, and dative also, en, and genitive, en. You may notice a pattern here that after all definite articles, that the adjective endings that you put on descriptive adjectives, gut, schlecht, alt, jung, kurz, lang, are all any kind of a descriptive adjective, excuse me, you add an en ending to it. Now, on ein words, I'll just write the endings here, and you draw the parallels between the endings here and the endings down here. Ein guter, einen guten, einem guten, eines guten. Eine gute, einer guten, einer guten, ein gutes, ein gutes, einem guten, eines guten. Mine in the plural. Meine guten, meine guten, meinen guten, meiner guten. You should notice here that the endings that you put on the descriptive adjectives are identical These are identical to these, except for here, er instead of e, here, as or es instead of e, and es instead of e. Why is that the case? Well, because ein takes no ending, and the descriptive adjective, therefore, has to take the ending that will show the case and gender of the noun that it modifies. So, if ein sort of thinks out or doesn't take the ending, the adjective has to show, well, this is a neuter noun in the nominative and in the accusative. So, ein gutes Kind or ein gutes Kind. Over here for masculine nominative, ein guter Mann. Okay? Here are the endings that you put on descriptive adjectives after definite articles. Here are endings that you put on descriptive adjectives after ein or ein words. This could just as well be mein as ein here. Mein guter Mann, etc., etc. Now, definite articles, we also have a group that follow the pattern of the definite articles. They're called der words. Yeah, der words. Dieser, jeder, jener, mancher, welcher, etliche, sämtliche, und so weiter, etc. So, what are the endings that we put on, well, let's say, dies? What are we going to do with dies? Well, if dies goes in front of these nouns, then here are the endings. For masculine, dieser guter Mann, diesen guten Mann, diesem guten Mann, dieses guten Mannes. Okay? See how it follows the definite articles, and that's why they're called der words. In the feminine ones, pick the di there, die there, die there, die there. Diese Frau, diese schöne Frau, diese gute Frau, diese gute, dieser guten, dieser guten. In the neuters, a little bit of a tweak has to take place here. Since we don't have an ending as, I take off the D and the A, there. And those add an E, that's the der word ending. Take off the D there, E-M-E-S. Dieses gute Kind, dieses gute Kind. Dative for indirect object, diesem guten Kind. And genitive, dieses guten Kindes. Plural. You're probably catching on here pretty quickly. Those are the endings that you would put on a der word in front of a plural noun. And then if you have a descriptive adjective that follows, these are the endings that go on the descriptive adjective. Diese guten Kinder. Diese guten Kinder. Und so weiter. Okay, now, this is all well and good. This is about, 3/4 of the way there now. The only thing as far as adjective endings that you need to know further is what happens if an adjective stands by itself in front of a noun. If you don't have a der word, diese, or you don't have a definite article, der or die or das, or you don't have an ein or a mein or an unser or dein, some kind of an ein word, what happens if you just want to say good dog or good man? How do you say that? Well, those endings key off of the der word endings because these are the strongest endings that we have in the language. So, erase these adjective endings. In fact, we'll just take the entire ein word table out of the equation now. And these are the endings that you put on a descriptive adjective when it comes in front of a noun. Good man. I see good men. They're a little bit contrived. You don't use these as often as you do der words plus an adjective or an ein word plus an adjective and a noun. But they do come up, and they are identical to these endings except for two places. In the genitives. If a descriptive adjective goes in front of a noun, instead of es in the genitive masculine, it takes en. And in neuter, what do you imagine? Yep. En. Why do you suppose this is the case? Well, to cut to the chase, a descriptive adjective in front of a noun only takes a strong ending if it has to. It would just as lieve lay there and take a weak ending if it could. But if it's the only show in town, if it's the only thing in front of the noun, it will show you the case and gender of that noun. But in these two genitive spots, what do we do with the nouns themselves? We put endings on them. So, guten Kindes. We added the strong ending es to the noun itself. And the same thing takes place over here in the masculine gender. Guten Mannes. Already takes the strong ending. So, the adjective lays back and takes its normal weak en ending for genitive masculine and also genitive neuter. Okay, that's it in a nutshell. Adjective endings in German.